Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is Thursday, August the 23rd, and this is the market overview, looking at the Dow, SPX, WIX, TNA, UUP, FXE, GLD, SLV, and all of the stuff that we look at. And today was a awesome, fabulous, wonderful day. Market's finally taking a substantial hit and doing significant damage across the board. So, without further ado, starting off with the Dow, down 115 points. And last night we were saying that the daily looked poor, the 60-minute looked good, and that the futures were up more than decent. So, as it turns out, the futures turned around before the U.S. market opened, and this is what happened. A big red candle. Also saying last night that the downtick target had been resolved, and we needed to see what it would do next. And it certainly gave us a very clear signal, almost getting to a bar retest. So fantastic. Beyond that, we have a downtick in the 14-day RSI moving average. It is slight, but it is a definite downtick. Great sign. We have the CCI going down, stochastics going down, RSI going down. We've completed the bearish cross of the MACD. MACD histogram going down. This looks poor in the daily time frame. It should catch some resistance or support, I should say, as it enters the long-term moving average bar, but just based off of what everything looks like, oh yes, this sucker is in deep trouble. We did note a few things that would suggest that last night. Oops. Okay, sorry about that. And so yes, we had some indications last night in the video, which I apologize, was so darn late. I don't know what it is. Every week, 2 weeks, I upload something to YouTube, and it takes hours and hours for them to process it. And if I stop it and I redo it, it still takes hours and hours. So anyways, if you saw it last night, it was good. And 60-minute time frame. Last night, the 60-minute did not look bad, and the daily looked poor. And today, 60-minute, once again, does not look so bad, and the daily looks poor. You can see that we have positive divergence in the MACD histogram. MACD histogram ticking up. MACD itself still pointing down. RSI still pointing down. Stochastics, 14-day RSI moving average locked in the down position and slightly up on the CCI. Yep, this could go down some more, but sure, it does not look bad. It looks like it can have a turn at any time. And going on to SPX. There's not going to be too much different here. But last night, we were talking about the downtick, which we had from Wednesday, and that it had come really close to attempting to resolve it, but it fell short. Well, today it didn't fall short, it resolved it. And so now, according to the rules, we have to see what it wants to do next. But if it follows the Dow, it has more to go. But yeah, have to see what it wants to do next, but fantastic. I mean, completing the downtick in 2 days. Awesome. Nothing really to speak of differently in the indicators, except that the Dow was already crossing. The SPX was not as of last night. It was close, but not underway. Today it did it. So fabulous. Very good for the bears. Moving on to the VIX. Last night we said the VIX was not poor, despite the ramp job at the end of the day. The VIX simply did not care, and that was a good sign. And today it actually did follow through, which was great, even kissing the long-term moving average bar. Still in the bottoming area, everything moving up. We even have the bullish cross on the MACD. And the 14-day RSI moving average has ceased its downward trajectory and is going sideways. Not bad. It does have the long-term moving average bar to deal with. There should be some resistance there, but this is not bad. TNA small caps last night saying that small caps were garbage and that weaker than the Dow, weaker than SPX, and much more underdeveloped indicator-wise, which was bearish. And we had the downtick finally. Well, today it followed through with it. It resolved the downtick today, completing it in 1 day since getting the signal. And everything is moving down. 14-day RSI moving average is still moving up, but losing some momentum. And we're looking for the bearish cross of the MACD. This looks poor in the daily. We do need to see what it does next, since it's just finished a downtick move, bubble corrective move. But it looks poor. The daily looks not bad, like the Dow, like SPX. So we have to see if that's going to get a bump up or not. But the daily, poor. And UUP, we talked about this one in the daily running thread the last couple of days. The move to the downside, most notably yesterday on last night's video, market should have been up huge, and simply wasn't. Today became even more. I mean, gapping down, going really low, and the market did not care. Very, very unusual. And it actually suggests to me that you have a change to where in the past few weeks you'd have the dollar go up and the market wouldn't care, and the dollar would just inch down a little bit, the market would go up huge. And now it seems to have reversed, where it goes down big and the market doesn't care, and we're just waiting for it to inch back up, and it'll probably do a really big smackdown on the market. Huge bottoming area in the heat map. All the indicators haven't looped over yet. They're just barely attempting to. So most things still pointing down, pointing sideways low. Few things trying to creep up. The RSI, the CCI, very slowly. We have a reversal candle. It's a hammer right at the 200-day moving average. It should bounce here. And when it does, whoo! Could do some nasty things to the market, especially if it goes up. Does this gap fill up here? Maybe even goes higher. I don't know. Depends on the news. But very, very encouraging for the bearish perspective. And FXE, the euro, we talked about in the last few videos about this insane gap up, how it was cheating. And that we were waiting to see it try to roll over. It's in the very early stages of that happening, but not enough to say tomorrow the euro is going to fall, blah, blah, blah. Outside the upper Bollinger Band, third night in a row. And it's a very, very small inverse hammer, shooting star. Could have a down move tomorrow. I hope it does. But just not enough yet to say, okay, it needs to shift and go down and all that jazz. We have talked in the past about this double gap. And that double gap is now filled. There is a bit of a gap right here that it'll need to backfill. But this double gap, very, very important. And now, for the most part, knocked out. So, totally awesome. CompQ, the NASDAQ. Last night, we said we were looking for a downtick, which we did not. Actually, we had that very, very, very slight one from 2 nights ago. Ultra slight. And if there was any doubt, it was put to rest today. It did not resolve it intraday. It has a little farther to go to the downside. A little over 20 points. And most everything rolling over. This looks poor in the daily. Doesn't look bad in the 60-minute, just like the Dow, just like SPX. No need to look at that. But, especially with today's move, it shows great promise to some more downside, just like the Dow does. And Apple. Said last night, we've been very hesitant to say bad things about Apple, since people just love to run into Apple when things start getting rough. And it didn't have a bad day today. I mean, down just over $6, 1% almost. Very strong, not even getting past the midway point of the big green candle from Wednesday. So overall, pretty darn strong. But we do have a little chink in the armor in that almost everything is ticking down. The MACD is still ticking up. The 14-day RSI moving average is still moving up. But CCI is down, stochastics are down, RSI is down, and we have a downtick in the MACD histogram. So, is this a topping area? It looks like it, but we have no downtick. The downtick, I think, is the key. Maybe that'll happen tomorrow. Maybe it won't, but we don't have it right now. And GE trying to get a better read on the Dow. Said last night it was not looking good. We had we had the bubble corrective move finish once again, a downtick. We had the Wednesday candle saying that further weakness most likely ahead. Yesterday getting below that, even though it was green, it was still below all of that range, which we said was weakness. And today following through with more to the downside, almost getting to the long-term moving average bar. Beyond that, we have the 14-day RSI moving average curling over, suggesting much more weakness, or at least some weakness, ahead for the market in general, most notably the Dow, which also jives with the Dow chart from tonight. And everything moving down, everything moving down. Nasty daily chart, 60-minute time frame. Since this leads the Dow, should take a look at it. And is it different than the Dow? Well, we have everything moving down with the exception of the MACD histogram, which does have positive divergence. So no, it's not very different from the Dow, but everything is pointing down. We don't have the CCI poking up or the RSI poking up. Everything is pointing down. So it is worse in the 60-minute time frame. And JP Morgan. We've been saying problems, problems, problems. Didn't trust this. Didn't trust this last night. Today getting a downtick, resolving it intraday, showing problems with the 200-day moving average. And everything ticking down with the exception of the 14-day RSI moving average, which is going sideways high, looking for a bearish cross. If we get that, whoo, big trouble for the market. And XLF, we said this one was stronger than JP Morgan last night, the financials as a whole. Nonetheless, it got a downtick today. It almost resolved it intraday, but missed it by a penny or two. And 14-day is still clicking up, but everything else ticking down, looking for that bearish cross of the MACD. And just like JP Morgan, if we get that, big trouble for the market. And USO, looking at oil. Ooh, last night we were saying we have no downtick. Today we have a downtick. Downtick gives us a target of about 35. Good amount down from this point, which would be bearish for the overall market. We have everything except the 14-day RSI moving average ticking down. The 14 days going sideways. Also looking for the bearish cross of the MACD histogram. We've talked about the negative divergence for a while now and said that at some point it's going to matter. Maybe this is the point. We need a little bit more. But yes, this is encouraging for more downside movement. And GLD looking at gold. Incredible. Look at that. That's just amazing. The entire candle outside of the upper Bollinger Band, spinning top, massive topping area in the heat map, everything ticking up with the exception of the RSI going sideways. And actually, I think we have a slight downtick on the CCI. It's so slight. We have an extremely slight downtick in the CCI. But nonetheless, this is outrageous. And I mean, look at the short-term moving averages. Absolutely ridiculous. There's definitely a bubble here. And definite bubble there. SLV, more of the same, having problems with the 200-day moving average, way outside the upper Bollinger Band, red, spinning top, everything extremely high, extremely overextended, and massively deep in the heat map. Big bubble here. So it'd be nice to see that go sideways, let things catch up, or even go down, do a bubble corrective move, and then let it go on its merry way if it wants to keep going up. But yeah, we don't have a signal except for the position and type of candle, but I don't think that it'll hold very long. And why not? RSP, the equal weighted S&P, got a downtick last night. I didn't cover it in the market overview, but it got a bubble corrective move today, just like SPX. And just like SPX, everything ticking down with the exception of the 14-day RSI moving average, looking for a bearish cross of the MACD. Need to see what happens tomorrow, but I think odds are good that further downside is in order. But that is a guess. We're supposed to watch and see what it does after a bubble corrective move, and we will. And I think that's just about going to do it for this evening. Awesome, awesome day. I hope for more tomorrow, but after tomorrow, that'll be very interesting because next week sentiment could change again. Who knows? I guess tomorrow will at least give us a little bit of an inkling. As always, all investing decisions are your own. This chart and video for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only. Thank you.